This is the tastiest, I'd say it's a substitute to serving some mashed potatoes if you have company. And it's mushrooms, but the twist I make to them, it's just so tasty. Terry and I sometimes have them for breakfast. Sometimes I'll have them in a sandwich for lunch or serve them for dinner as one of the side dishes. So I'm going to cut my mushrooms into, I call them peas. I'll tell you why in a minute. See that? Is that? Oh, there. So there's a pea, and they all made peas. This is 4 nice sized mushrooms. When you buy mushrooms, look for ones that are real white and compact, and that means they're fresh. As they get older, they get lighter and they dry up. This is probably, I don't remember now, but it's probably a Vidalia or a Walla Walla onion, so it's a sweeter onion. And I'm going to slice it into slices. This one I'll just do this way. So I have a half onion that probably is about almost 2 cups, because this is a pretty big onion. So what we have is 4 big mushrooms and 2 cups of onions, and they're just in slices like that separate and look like that. Like confetti. It makes me want to go, Happy New Year! I've got 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I'm going to heat it up, medium high. Oh, you guys, this is the best coconut oil in the world, and I've tried several. It's called Nutiva. Organic extra virgin coconut oil. The world's best cooking oil. I'd been buying another kind of coconut oil, and I went to Costco, and there was this Nutiva, and I thought, oh, it's got to be cheaper because Costco has such great prices. And when I got home, we compared the price per ounce or whatever, and it's more expensive. And I thought, darn, I thought I was getting a good deal. And then I opened the container, and there's no comparison. It is just absolutely the best. I'm going to add my onions and some mushrooms. Get them all in there. And then I'm going to put some Lowry's, about half a teaspoon. Fresh ground pepper. One of the main things that makes a successful cook is paying attention to what you're doing. You can't go off and leave water boiling on the stove or sink water running, and you can't certainly leave anything when it's frying. You've got to stay with it. So when you're frying bacon, or in this case, this mushroom plate I'm making, I have to stay right with it. And I use that time while something is cooking to think. And I try to think of, it's a good practice to be thinking, watching what you're, being mindful of what you're thinking. Say, where is my mind wandering now that I'm in a boring part of cooking? And I can practice keeping my mind not wandering to the negative, but wandering to the positive side of things. Sometimes I'll think about, what else will I serve with this? What else would be good? And, or maybe, you know, maybe if I put a little oregano in this time, I could kind of pitch it over to Italy. Or, you know, maybe I should put a little spice in it and make it a little hot. This is going to be a sweet taste because mushrooms and onions, when they're cooked, get sweet. So you might want to think, what could I serve with this that will have a little bit of a tart flavor to it? And sometimes I just like to watch the steam and smell the aromas of the, oh, there's something wonderful about the cooking of onions and mushrooms. Okay, so you can see the mushrooms are all cooked and the onions turning brown a little bit and the liquid's almost all cooked off. And I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese and 1/4 cup of almond flour, okay, and then I'm just going to start stirring that in. I buy the Parmesan in 2-pound sacks already ground up. I don't use the Parmesan in the green shiny box. It's not fresh. And I keep it frozen because 2 pounds lasts me at least 2 months, so I like to keep it frozen. Now you can see it's starting to look like a little pie. That's what we want. We want it to kind of come together and look like a, it's not a pie, it's a big, thick pancake looking thing. I want to say tort, but I'm not sure that's the right word. So the cheese is keeping things all stuck together. You know how when you melt cheese it runs and gets stringy? So the Parmesan cheese is sticking this stuff together, the onions and the mushrooms together. The almond flour adds a little bit of meat to it, a depth to it. And all almond flour is ground up almonds. Almost 0 carbs in the mushrooms and onions traces. What doesn't turn right, we'll work it into another pie. We're not going to be perfect cooks, so don't even try. In fact, when they look perfect, you know that they've been made in a bakery by a machine. So this proves we did it from scratch, because it doesn't look pretty. It does look pretty. I think one thing that sets good cooks aside is patience. And you know, we are all impatient on some things, but it's a good training ground for being patient because you can't hurry things or you'll burn them or ruin them. This mushroom dish will serve 4. And you know, you can decide at the end, it's not going to be a tort. It's just going to be like a stir fry that's crispy. Whatever. It's not going to be this time. I don't want it to be a pie. This will look so pretty on a nice red plate. Very nice. And when you serve that, when your guests say, "Oh, what is that? It looks really good," say, "Oh, it is good." Taste it and see if you can figure out what it is.